What's good, guys? First of all, I'm sorry for no videos about this fight card this week. I wanted to do a lot more, but I had school and it was long and dreadful, so I didn't get to it. I did drop my predictions on my Instagram, and this is just my postcard reaction to all of UFC 299. We're going to be starting from the very first prelim of the night, going all the way up. I'll tell you guys my picks and how I did. I went 9-5 overall. You can verify that on my Instagram, at Birdsinthetrap MMA, all one word. Joanne Wood, not too interesting of a fight. I picked this one correctly. Honestly, I was just kind of getting my snacks ready during this one. Asu Amabayev, picked him to win. Not because I really... Listen, these two were just throwing a dart with a blindfold on. I just picked this guy because of his last name. Not even going to lie. And he won, so it worked. Robelis de Spain. I wanted to make a video about Robelis de Spain. This is my most anticipated debut in a long time. More than MVP. And he did exactly what I expected him to do. I was calling a first 45-second KO. He ended up getting it in 18 seconds. And I want this guy to fight 5 times this year. I want him to fight every 2 months, fight another fat heavyweight, knock him out in a minute. And by next year, I want him to start looking up the ranks. And I think he can go pretty far. He's not going to have problems until that top 5. You know what I mean? All these fat guys, he's just going to mop the floor with them. With that being said, he did exactly as I expected. He looked amazing too. Knocked him out while running backwards. It was crazy. Y'all see the shirt? Y'all see the fucking shirt? Michel Pereira versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. Okay? I picked Michel Pereira. I was picking him by round 2 TKO, but, you know, listen, a lot of guys were going with Oleksiejczuk, and I'm not saying they were stupid, but I thought it was a stupid pick. I never was picking Oleksiejczuk to win this fight. I was picking Pereira since it was announced. He's such a physical specimen, always looks for the finish, and he's just overall a beast. This was a great performance for him. And, yeah, when you're moving up from a smaller weight division and you're moving up, you do pretty well. There's less skill the higher up in weight you go. So he got the round 1 submission, a very interesting submission. He just, they were just not even scrambling. They were just fucking moving around, and he just grabbed it out of nowhere. Very, very impressive for Michel Pereira. Ion Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. I got this one wrong. I thought Cutelaba was going to be a lot more explosive and do a lot more damage. He kind of just got controlled and outstruck, and it wasn't very eventful. This kind of started a lull of boring fights, but, you know, it is what it is. Impressive performance from Lins, but I don't think his ceiling is too high. You know what I mean? I don't know where he goes from here. This fight I got wrong. Kyler Phillips looks very weird to me. I don't know why. Something about him just makes me think of like a bubble guppy or like a goldfish. Like he has a fish face, all right? I was picking Pedro Munoz just to kind of weave him out as a fraud. But, I mean, he did exactly what O'Malley did to Vera, pretty much. Just put less damage on him. But Kyler Phillips looked really good. He's ranked now. He has a win over Song Yadong. And he looked good, man. I don't know where he goes from here, but, you know, maybe a Jonathan Martinez matchup or, you know, someone in that 10 through 15 range. I don't think you want to bump him too high up, but you don't want to give him anyone outside of the rankings again. I'm sure the UFC is going to want to build this guy up. He's O'Malley's teammate, and he looked good. All right, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Mateusz Gamrot. Dos Anjos had a good first round, man. It was looking scary for Gamrot. But Gamrot did what Gamrot does. All right, just fucking, you know, shits his pants in the octagon. Not actually, I'm just messing around, but he did stink it up to win. Okay, RDA was looking good on the feet in the first round, but he slowly started to do better and better. 11 takedowns, outstruck him a ton. I don't know where RDA goes from here, but Gamrot, let's do Gamrot versus... Gamrot would beat Dariush if they fought again, but that's not the fight I'm going to suggest. Man, who should Gamrot fight next? Let's pull up the rankings. Because, you know, he's number 6, and I don't think you really want to give him anyone in front of him, but let's look at the list and see if anyone stands out for me. You know, Gamrot, you know, you can't do the Chandler, you can't do, you know, maybe Gamrot, nah, Poirier is friends with Gamrot, so I guess Gamrot's going to have to fight back again. Maybe Jalen Turner, maybe a Dan Hooker fight even. I think those are both, y'all, my bad, y'all casual checked me. Mateusz Gamrot has fought Jalen Turner, my bad. Maybe Dan Hooker, but yeah, he's kind of in a weird spot, right? But anyways, Moving up on the card, I didn't watch this fight. I was cooking during this fight. Macy Barber got the win. I picked Macy Barber. Doesn't look like anything too significant happened in this fight. It was a decision. But I got the pick right, so I can't tell you anything about it. This one, man. Jailton Almeida is a god that I've said I don't believe in that much. And especially after that Lewis fight, man. And I was picking Blades this entire fight week. Since this fight was announced, I've been picking Blades. Until like fucking today. Today I changed my pick. And I went with Almeida because I was like, Blades is kind of a fat guy. But yeah, no. Jailton Almeida, absolutely stupid move. He just went in on a single leg after getting rocked, and he just did not let it go. Curtis Blades just kept hammering him, and it was pretty easy for Curtis Blades after losing the first round, getting out grappled. But he looked fine. You know what I mean? Curtis Blades didn't look like a world beater in there. Really just won because Almeida made a horrible, stupid, dumb decision. Now moving on to the main card, Poirier versus Song Yadong. I thought Poirier clearly won the last 2 rounds. It was a competitive fight though. Yan didn't look as good as I would have wanted him to be honest. But you know, Song Yadong is also very real. And I'm sure he's going to win his next fight. Song Yadong is still a beast. But Yan was able to do what Yan does. He got better as the fight went on. He got more accurate with his shots after losing the first round. And, you know, Yan got a win. I'm very, very happy to see Yan win. I was rooting for him. I picked him. And, yeah, it was a good fight, man. Pretty back and forth fight. But let's talk about this fight here now. Jack Della Maddalena was a guy who I made an overrated video about. I said JDM isn't that good, and I think Burns is going to submit him. And I was picking Burns up until like a week ago, I think. I was like, he's chinny. He's coming off a long layoff. And yeah. Burns was winning the fight in my opinion. I thought Burns was up 2 rounds, and I thought he was winning the third. But JDM ends up pulling it out of nowhere. Just catches him with a knee, and it's over from there. Fight was honestly a bit of a late stoppage. I think it could have been stopped earlier, but JDM looked not that good. He looked very beatable again, but he got the knockout in the last minute, and he needed it, so good for him. I got the pick right. Kevin Holland versus Michael Page. This fight was not very interesting. Well, it was interesting, but it wasn't very entertaining. I picked Kevin Holland to show levels, but he unfortunately didn't. Although, you know, it looks like he won here on stats. Oh, never mind. But yeah, Holland, man, Holland looks like he just gets way too comfortable with accepting defeat sometimes. I'm like, man, you gotta go. And he's just, you know, it's like he's coping in the octagon. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But Kevin Holland, I just feel like when the going gets tough, he doesn't show up. And it really sucks, man. I think Kevin Holland can be so much better than his record suggests. But I just don't think he gives everything his max effort. So, Michael Venom Page, welcome to the UFC. Not the most impressive performance out there, but still a good win nonetheless. He's ranked in his first fight, so good for him. Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. This is another one where I did the switcheroo. I was picking Poirier all week. I left a comment on a bedtime video saying I was going with Poirier, and Lucas Tracy responded to me. He said, you're in for a rude awakening or something like that. And I was like, man, fuck this guy. I was picking Poirier up until today, and I was like, the grappling, the tenacity. I thought everything that Benoit does can present a problem for Dustin, as long as that staff didn't come into effect. Now, Dustin Poirier was winning this fight on the feet pretty much the entire time. What the fuck was the grappling, dude? Dustin, what are you doing? Why are you pulling 4 guillotines? And they were close, don't get me wrong, but anyone who can grapple a little bit knows how to get out of those, you know what I mean? Benoit is not a pushover on the ground. He was able to escape every time. And Dustin hurt him, and then it looked like he was going to go for another one. I was like, you fucking idiot. I was rooting for Dustin in this fight, guys. I wanted Dustin to win the entire time. However, I switched my pick, and I got it wrong. I bite the bullet. It is what it is. Poirier was honestly losing the entire time up until the knockout. But, man, that's one of Poirier's best knockouts in a long time. He doesn't really lay people out the way he did. It's usually a TKO, like an accumulation. But that was an absolutely amazing performance from Poirier. Benoit is legit though, man. Benoit, like I said, he was winning the fight up until that, and I bet he's going to win his next fight. This was a huge jump up in competition, and he may have not had the best fight camp, or fight week, at least, you know. He showed up with that staph infection, and it looked nasty. So, we don't know if that played a part or not, but Dustin Poirier got the win. Very, very impressive. And he hurt him quite a bit up until the finish. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. I predicted Sean O'Malley by decision. I could see O'Malley winning with a, like a late TKO, but I never really thought Vera was going to win this fight. He got close in moments. He would hurt O'Malley, but he just wouldn't really stay on him that much. And, man, anytime O'Malley would move, Vera would be reacting a lot. Hands up, moving his head off the center line. Vera looked very, very hesitant in front of O'Malley, and rightfully so. If that was anyone else in the octagon, O'Malley would have knocked him out. O'Malley, excellent knee. I think it was in the second round. He threw a knee that would have put out anybody, man. The sound it made was lethal. Sounded like a baseball bat, and Vera ate it like a champ. But he's not the champ, unfortunately. Was rooting for Vera. I like Vera a lot. He's a family man. He's a fun guy. Very cool. But Sean O'Malley gets the win, as I predicted. Ladies and gentlemen, that was UFC 299. If I have to give a performance of the night, my performance of the night, it goes to O'Malley. It goes to Robelis de Spain, and it goes to Michel Pereira. The fight of the night. Fight of the night could also be the main event. It was competitive in moments. But, a really good fight was Petr Yan and Song Yadong. That's probably my fight of the night. But overall, pretty good card. I'm pretty happy with it. A lot of good finishes. Very happy for Poirier. That was a highlight for me. And with that being said, guys, that was the first ever Birds in the Trap post-card recap done on the day of the fight. All right? I'm getting better. All right? I hope y'all enjoyed. Peace.